We are back, baby! Welcome back to When Harry Met Board Games, where we feed our people with relatable content and our victory condition is your satisfaction. I'm Harry, and today we're continuing our People's Choice Top 100 Board Games of All Time, covering games number 70 through 61. I have surveyed over 3,000 board game designers, publishers, reviewers, and content creators on Instagram's board game community, and I have collected the data and put together this People's Choice Top 100 list. So without any further ado, let's get straight to the list with our number 70. The People's Choice number 70 board game of all time is Takinoco, designed by Antoine Boza. And as you can tell by the cover, we have a cute little panda. And who doesn't love pandas nowadays? And this game is a beautiful production. The components of this game are gorgeous. You have great illustration and graphic design as far as the different terrain tiles is concerned. You have these three-dimensional pieces that make up the sections of the bamboo trees that you're erecting throughout the game. You also have this nice little panda miniature and a farmer miniature that you're maneuvering and manipulating throughout the board in order to execute certain actions. This game does include an element of luck as players roll a die at the beginning of each of their turns in order to trigger a particular bonus action for that round. But the game is really about drafting and collecting different objective or mission cards that score players points in different ways. You have three different types of objective cards. You have cards that score you points based on the actual tiles and the configuration of those tiles as you place them on the board. You have objective cards that score you points based on the different colored bamboo sections that the panda will consume, and you have objective cards that score you points based on how many sections the different bamboo trees on particular terrain types have. Once players have completed a certain amount of objective cards, that triggers the end of the game, and whoever has the most victory points is the winner of the game at that point. This game, as of this recording, is ranked number 284 on BGG's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number one game of all time. We have Board Games Maniacs, we have Map TRK Hang, and we have Celeste Crosby. All of these people think that Takinoco is the number one game of all time. According to the People's Choice, it's number 70. The People's Choice number 69 board game of all time is Barrage. This is a heavy economic Euro co-designed by Simone Luciani of Zolkin and Teotihuacan fame. In this game, players take on one of four international companies, and they are striving to build dams, to deliver power through pressure tunnels, and to harness the benefits of the river. This game is based in a 1930s setting and features an innovative construction wheel that players must carefully manipulate in order to carry out their actions and manage their resources. This game is ranked, as of this recording on BGG, as high as number 54. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people that have ranked this game as their number one game of all time. We have Pausa_Gamers, we have Brettspiel Benny, and we have Twin Meeples. These people all think that Barrage is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but according to the People's Choice, it's only number 69. The People's Choice number 68 board game of all time is Power Grid, designed by Freedom and Freeze and published by Rio Grande Games. This is a game that's almost 20 years old at this point and is still very beloved by people. This is an economic game that's very much about budgeting your money and managing your resources. Players are running their power companies, trying to supply power to their cities. They're creating a network of different cities that connect to one another. Players are also budgeting in order to compete for auctions for the most efficient power plants that supply power to the most city in as efficient a manner as possible. They're also trying to have money left over in order to buy the different resources that supply energy to those power plants. And once that end game has been triggered, whoever can supply the power to the most cities at that point is the winner of the game. It doesn't matter who has the most money in their supply. It doesn't matter who has the most cities in their network. It's whoever can supply the most energy to those cities based on their power plants, their capacities, and the resources they have in order to activate those power plants. Whoever supplies power to the most cities on that final turn is the winner of the game. It doesn't matter how good you felt throughout the game, it's all about that last turn. This game currently on BGG as of this recording is ranked number 40. So again, this is a very popular and beloved game even after all of these years. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number one game of all time. We have Manuel Miguel underscore Cintora. We have Empire BGL. And we have Board Games, Paint, and Handstands. These people all think that Power Grid is the greatest game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 68. The People's Choice number 67 board game of all time is The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. This game is based off the very massively successful and popular intellectual property, The Lord of the Rings. And that alone is going to attract lots of attention and lots of admiration from players. This game is a Lord of the Rings themed adventure dungeon crawl style game, fully cooperative and app driven. So that's something to factor in when you consider purchasing this game. Players form a band of heroes and characters within the Middle-earth universe. They go on different quests, and each quest makes up a larger campaign. Lots of people have compared this game to Mansions of Madness, so if you enjoyed that game and also like the Lord of the Rings intellectual property, it's something you might want to consider. This game, as of this recording, is currently ranked number 88 on BGG's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth their number one game of all time. We have Ora Critica, we have Smeg Alex, we have Louise underscore miniatures underscore painting, and we have Blake underscore bro 2003. These people have all ranked Lord of the Rings, The Journeys in Middle-earth as their number one game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 67. The People's Choice number 66 board game of all time is Robinson Crusoe, designed by Ignacy Trevicek and published by Portal Games. This is yet another cooperative game, and in this game, it's all about survival. Players take on the role of different characters stranded on the cursed island, trying to fight for survival. There are 7 different scenarios that come with the base game. Each subsequent scenario increases the level of difficulty, but even the first scenario in the game is very difficult to defeat. Players each take on the role of different characters with unique abilities. They're managing certain resources in order to accomplish whatever the objective of the particular scenario is. They're encountering different events that take place, sometimes beneficial, quite often detrimental to the players and their objectives. And as I mentioned, they're managing different resources like wood, food, fur. But the most important resource of all is a resource known as determination. You have these tokens referred to as the determination tokens, the determination to survive, the will to overcome. This is something that's very important to the players because without determination tokens, you cannot activate the unique abilities that your player character has. Without those determination tokens, you are as good as any other player around the table. Now, this game is infamous. It is notorious for being a brutally cruel and hard game to defeat. But if you are willing to subject yourself to that, it can be a very rewarding experience. Man, this game has me traumatized. The victories in this game might be few and far in between, but every time you accomplish your objective, you feel the satisfaction of knowing that you did it. Robinson Crusoe, as of this recording, is ranked number 56 on BGG's rankings, so it's very popular, and it's very similar to the People's Choice, just 10 spots away. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Robinson Crusoe as their favorite game of all time. We have Jitterbug Boy. We have Gaming _ After _ Bedtime. We have BG Cooland. We have Brettspiel _ Sully. And we have the Jason Moles. These people all consider Robinson Crusoe to be the greatest game of all time. But as far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's only number 66. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, how about you take a second to click on that like button down below, and while you're at it, click on that subscribe button right next to it. Come on. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. You got this. The People's Choice number 65 board game of all time is Tapestry, designed by Jamie Stegmaier. This is a civilization-themed game where players take on their own civilization with unique and asymmetric abilities. Players are starting their civilization from scratch. They are trying to advance in any of 4 different advancement tracks. These tracks include science, technology, exploration, and military. Players are managing their resources, trying to build their capital cities, and the Tapestry cards make you feel like you are telling or writing the story to your own civilization. This game, as of this recording, is currently ranked number 235. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number one board game of all time. We have Play Games _ For All, That's the number 4. We have BV777777MT. That's 6 sevens, not 7 sevens. And we have Giraffe Club 2019. These people have all ranked Tapestry as their number 1 game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 65. The People's Choice number 64 board game of all time is Aeons End. This is a fantasy-themed cooperative deck building game where players are working together to defend the underground city of Gravehold from the attacks of the Nameless and their minions. This deck building game includes lots of innovations such as variable turn order, and players must be very intentional about what cards they discard and when. This game has been so successful that they've published tons of expansions, standalone expansions, and even a legacy iteration of this game. As a matter of fact, they just recently fully funded on Kickstarter a second legacy game within the Aeons End series. This game is currently ranked on BGG as of this recording as number 69. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Aeons End as their number 1 game of all time. We have Mia_Luna, we have Board Game Banter, and we have Board Game Time YT. These people have all chosen Aeons End as the greatest game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 64. The People's Choice number 63 board game of all time is Codenames, designed by Vlada Chvátil. Yeah, try saying that name 3 times fast. This is a very popular party game for gamers style of game where players break up into different teams. Each team has a team leader, and the team leader is trying to get the teammates to guess their code words. And basically the code words are comprised of a grid of cards on the table. There are lots of restrictions as far as what the team leaders can and cannot do in order to give clues to their teammates. This game is a very popular game that's seen lots of reiterations or spin-offs with different intellectual properties such as Marvel and Disney. This game has had a pictures version, a duet version, so there is a flavor out there for you. This game is currently ranked as of this recording at number 93 on BGG's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Codenames as their number 1 game of all time. We have Mezzalude, we have Epitrapezia_fun, and we have Jonas_plays_for_fun. Really, Jonas? You don't care about winning? At all? These people have all ranked Codenames as their number 1 board game of all time, but as far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 63. The People's Choice number 62 board game of all time is Stone Age. This is a worker placement game with a Stone Age theme. Players are gathering resources, expanding their villages, and trying to advance and progress in the areas of technology and civilization. This game is known for being a great introduction or gateway into the worker placement mechanism. It's also famous for its beautiful game board drawn up by renowned board game artist Michael Menzel. This game, as of this recording, is currently ranked number 114 on BGG's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked this game as their number 1 game of all time. We have Mariana.boo. We have Planet, spelled IT, not ET, Planet board game. And we have Steph22XOXO. These people think that Stone Age is the greatest game of all time. As far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's number 62. And the last game for today's video and the People's Choice number 61 board game of all time is Parks. This game is basically an ode to the national parks of the United States, which makes the international popularity of this game all the more interesting. In this game, players take on the role of hikers who are trekking through trails, and as the game goes along, they collect memories in the form of resource tokens, and these memories can be turned in and traded in to grant players access to visit different national parks. This game involves lots of shrewd resource management as the resources can get very tight, and the game depicts all 4 seasons of the year: winter, spring, summer, and fall. This game currently, as of this recording, is ranked number 129 on BGG's rankings. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the people who have ranked Parks as their number 1 game of all time. We have Inspired.Global.Gaming.B. We have King of the Frost, and we have Ces Jeudi. Ces C'est jeudi? C'est jeudi? Pardon my French. These people have all ranked Parks as their #1 game of all time, but as far as the People's Choice is concerned, it's only number 61. And that's it for today's list, folks. We are done with number 70 through 61. Thank you so much for joining us and for sticking through the duration of this video. Consider clicking on one of the videos that you see on the screen right now. Also, stay tuned as we continue the People's Choice Top 100 board games of all time. Next time, we're going to have number 60 through 51. This is Harry saying take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun gaming. Bye-bye.